What if nightmares were real? What if the gods who created the world betrayed it? And what if the only way forward was through mercenaries, scarred, weary, and willing to fight for coin and survival? This is Bloodwork, a cooperative dark fantasy RPG board game for 1 to 4 players. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, what exactly is Bloodwork? We'll start with a short primer on the world's lore, then look at the gameplay loop, and finally, I'll show you the miniatures and components that bring it all together. I found the lore of Bloodwork to be quite fantasy. The world of Bloodwork begins with Marana. She was once a sentinel of death and rebirth, a guardian who brought balance between life's end and new beginnings. But grief and corruption twisted her. She became something else, the goddess of nightmares. She created a new world, lit by 2 suns, Vatra and Voda. From longing, she shaped guardians in their image, Vatra embodying strength and conflict, and Voda embodying wisdom and foresight. But creation is never perfect. Vatra fell into corruption, forging the first orcs, goblins, trolls, and ogres, creatures built for war. Voda tried to preserve balance, creating elves, fae, dwarves, and finally humans, her last and greatest sacrifice. Her death unmade her, and Vatra absorbed her essence, becoming the god of war. From that point, the world was shattered into endless conflict. Peace itself became poison to the god of war. Whenever stability grew, he schemed from beyond to destroy it. Eventually, mortals even turned on Marana herself. When she was slain, the nightmares she had been holding back for ages were unleashed upon the world. So what is Bloodwork? At its heart, it's a cooperative, story-driven campaign game. 1 to 4 players take on the roles of mercenaries, not heroes in shining armor, but hardened survivors, killers, and oathbreakers, each with their own scars and reasons for fighting. You'll play through a campaign that takes around 20 hours or more, moving between 3 phases: battle, town, and story. Every decision you make, every injury you take, and every piece of loot you grab feeds into the next chapter of the story. The mercenaries you build aren't just pawns on a grid, they're characters that grow, fail, and adapt over the course of the campaign. If you've ever played dungeon crawlers like Gloomhaven, or narrative skirmish games like Kingdom Death, Bloodwork sits in that same family of games. But it brings its own flavor, a focus on mercenary survival, on the brutality of tactical combat, and on story moments where the wrong choice can spiral into tragedy. It's part tactical wargame, part RPG, and part dark fantasy novel brought to life at the table. And of course, a game can have great looking miniatures and awesome lore, but if the gameplay sucks, you're not really going to want to play it. So let's talk about the gameplay loop, because that's where Bloodwork really shines. So every quest begins with a battle phase. You'll face goblins, cultists, or nightmare-born creatures on a tactical grid. Each mercenary takes actions, moving, attacking, and using unique skills. Combat is brutal and cinematic. Knock an enemy back into rubble and they might take slam damage. Inflict bleed, poison, or stun to turn the tide. And the monsters fight back with their own AI, driven by the Fate deck. This deck doesn't just tell you what the enemy does, it creates dynamic moments, interrupts when you can strike first, or enrages where bosses throw the battlefield into chaos. Once the battle ends, you return to town for the town phase. West Ark is your base of operations and it grows as you progress. At the start, you only have the basics, the guild, the healer, and the blacksmith. But as the campaign continues, you'll unlock the tavern, mystic traders, the hunters league, and more. You'll spend your gold to craft new weapons and armor, heal injuries that could cripple your mercenaries, or gamble at the tavern for side events. This is also where mercenaries level up, unlocking new specializations, new skill cards, and powerful runes to socket into gear. Finally, the story phase ties everything together. Between battles, you'll read narrative events from the rulebook, a missing child, a burned village, or a cult ritual in the forest. These aren't just flavor. They lead into battles, shape the campaign's direction, and sometimes force choices that cost dearly. Do you chase a false lead and fall into a trap? Do you risk your own health to save townsfolk? Bloodwork constantly mixes storytelling with tactical play, so you feel like you're fighting for a living world, not just pushing minis around a board. That cycle of battle, town, and story repeats again and again until you reach the final confrontation. And trust me, the road there is long and bloody. Now what makes all of this come alive on the table are the miniatures and components. The core Bloodwork game comes with over 60 beautiful miniatures. You'll get the 4 core mercenaries: Halbjorn, the giant-blooded warrior, Maeve, the cleric who fights for vengeance, Seren, the exiled archer, and Mary, the Fey mage. Each has a detailed sculpt in their own dashboard full of stats, skills, and equipment slots. Then there are the enemies: goblin grunts, armored defenders, crossbowmen, orc warlocks, arc raptors, and bosses like the Gigarat the Unhinged. These aren't just models, they're tied directly to the game's Fate deck system, which makes every enemy feel unique on the battlefield. The game also comes with thick dashboards and acrylic cubes to track stats, multiple decks of cards for combat, loot, and events, and a double-sided game board with terrain tiles that shape every fight. Terrain can block line of sight, slow you down, or even be destroyed. A collapsing pillar can crush a foe for massive damage, while water or rubble can hinder movement. It's not just miniatures versus miniatures, it's miniatures fighting across a living battlefield. And because the sculpts are so detailed, they're not just fun to play with, they're really nice to paint. Bloodwork works as both a tactical game and a miniature painter's project. With all the games out there, why should you play Bloodwork? First, the setting. This isn't just generic fantasy, it's an original mythos built around gods, betrayal, and nightmares unleashed. If you like dark, story-rich worlds, Bloodwork delivers. And over the course of their expansions, it will continue the story. Second, the combat. It's tactical, crunchy, and cinematic. Knockbacks, interrupts, and rage timers, the battle feel like small stories in themselves. And third, the campaign. You don't just play one-off missions. You carry injuries, earn loot, unlock buildings, and watch your mercenaries evolve over dozens of hours. Each run feels personal and unique. And finally, the theme. Bloodwork is about survival, unity, and carving hope out of horror. It's not about perfect heroes, but about mercenaries who bleed, fail, and sometimes rise again. So that's Bloodwork in a nutshell. Part tactical combat game, part story-driven RPG, and part miniature showcase. If you're looking for a co-op experience that combines rich lore, tough battles, and evolving characters, Bloodwork is one you'll want on your table. And the best part, the Gamefound campaign is live right now. This is your chance to secure the full game, the miniatures, and all of the campaign content. Bloodwork comes loaded with over 60 highly detailed minis, a 20-hour dark fantasy campaign in a world that begs to be explored, including add-ons that let you tell the next chapter of the story as well, and have even more fantastic miniatures. If you've been waiting for a board game that mixes the crunch of tactical combat with the immersion of an RPG, this is it. But the campaign is only running for a limited time, so don't wait. Head on over to MiniWarGaming.com/Bloodwork. That link will take you straight to the live Gamefound page. Join us, back the campaign, and step into the dim mark to face the nightmare together. Stay tuned for more Bloodwork coverage. We're going to be making a video about how to play Bloodwork, as well as my wife and I playing through one of the missions so you can see exactly how it works. Thanks for watching. Happy working.